are going to cook spaghetti bolognese. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to prepare and cook all the ingredients. Before we do that, I'm going to explain you, show you what we have here with the recipe. So with this recipe, we got a pack of spaghetti, which is about 500 grams. And then we got a pack of mincemeat. We also got 2 tin tomatoes. We got dry herbs. Then we got a black lentil. And we got 1 onion. Before you prepare anything, we need to cook the pasta. So to cook the pasta, you need to have a quite good amount of water, and with the water you need to put enough seasoning. So the water is boiling, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put plenty of salt in there. Normally when you cook pasta, it's very important to have plenty of water. The ratio is classically is called 1 to 10. So to open up the pasta bag like that, you can always just press it down. Sorry, a bit noisy, but it's easy to open it, right? So what we're going to do, drop into the water and then you can release it. And literally, as you cook from the bottom, the pasta goes into the water. If not, you can also shake the pot a little bit, or you can also use a wooden spoon to stir it. But before pasta goes into the water, don't work too much or pressure too much on the pasta, because the dry pasta always breaks. So let it fall down into the water by shaking it. It goes into the water like this. Otherwise, if you press it down, you break the pasta. Particularly it's a long pasta like this. It doesn't really matter if it's a short pasta like a penne or shell pasta, it goes into the water straight away. But long pasta like this, so always let it fall down into the water. Once everything goes into the water, you can shake the pot a little bit so that pasta won't stick at the bottom. Or you can use a wooden spoon and stir it. It's very important to either stir it or move the cooking pot. Otherwise, most of the time, if you just drop the pasta into the liquid and leave it like that, and the pasta stick to the bottom of the pot, and it get burnt or stick to the pot itself. So what we are going to do, let it cook. This takes about 5-6 minutes most of the time. So when you use a package of pasta, there is the instructions. So you can always follow the instructions. You can always follow the instruction and go through it. So the part of the preparation, so I've got most of the ingredient here. So all you need to prepare is the onions. So you need to dice the onions. The rest of them is basically all you need to do, cook it together. So in terms of cooking equipment, so we got tongs to basically, if you handle with the pasta, right, hot pasta, you also got wooden spoons. Then we got a cooking pot, which is a cooking pot for the pasta itself, and another cooking pot for the mincemeat. The size of the pot is basically depends on how much you want to cook. If you follow this recipe, you need a bigger pot to cook with the pasta and a smaller pot to cook the mincemeat. That's all you need. And then we also got oil, cooking oil, and then we also got salt and pepper. And that's all we have. So what we are going to do now, we are going to dice the onions. So to dice the onions, cut into half, and then make sure put nice and flat on the cutting board. Once you get nice and flat on the cutting board, with a sharp knife, all you need to do is to slice it. But when you slice it, you don't really need to cut all the way through. You just slice it up to the right end, but you are not going to slice completely. If you slice completely, you cannot really hold the half of the onion all together by the time you dice it. So you are going to slice it fairly right at the end, but they are still holding it together. And then what you do, a lot of people just slice or dice it straight away. But if you want to, you can also cut it like this. This is going to make a perfect dice. So once you get that, all you need to do, hold it together, and then you can just dice it through. And if you are not really good at knife skills, so this sort of things is a hand-on practice. So the more you do it, the better you get it. We cut it pretty fast. Not just me. So most of the commercial chefs cut it pretty fast, but not because we born like that. We learned it. We practice it years and years. So what you do, and in the commercial kitchens, when you dice onion like this, you got leftover. So leftover onion, you never ever throw. You put it into the stock sauce, and so you chop it up nice and fine and mix it with the mincemeat and use it for the burger patties and things like that. And you can also use the different onions if you want to. You can use the Spanish onions. It depends on what you have. The idea for this type of cooking is basically making something out of anything you got left over. This pasta is almost ready. I would say it's probably need 1 more minute to cook it. And then what we are going to do, we can drain it. Instead of running under cold water, we are going to serve it straight away. Part of the reason why we are not going to put under cold water, we are going to keep it nice and warm. So in a way, if you're a little bit undercooked, and by the time you drain and leave it in the bowl, it's keep on cooking. So by the time you serve it, it's going to be ready. All right, so pasta is going to be ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drain this. As you see, pasta is cooked nicely. I got the draining pot underneath. If you don't put the pot underneath, the water goes all over the place. So you need to make sure, especially the hot water, so you know, if you get on your hand and things like that, you get burnt. So safety is the #1 priority, especially if you are not really familiar with the kitchen works and things like that. So what we are going to do, cook this onion. We call it sauteing method, meaning basically cooking on a really low heat. Cooking on a low heat until release all the aromatic and the flavor into the oil itself. And onion and any type of vegetable, you know, they bring a lot of sugar, which we call it natural sugar. And when you cook into the heat, the natural sugar and the moisture, which is the water evaporates, and the sugar get caramelizations. As you see, the more I cook, the brownish I get at the bottom of the pot, whether it's with the onion or whether it's the minced meat. So with this, you know, I'm not really going to cook the onion a lot. So what I'm going to do is to cook the minced meat now, put the minced meat in there. When you cook this, it's very important to break it. And at the same time, spread on the bottom of the pot so that they get crushed, the brownish color. The brownish create flavor. As you see, the liquid underneath pretty much drying out. And once the liquid is dried out, that's where you get the color on the meat. Otherwise, at this stage, what you're doing is basically you're boiling. You're boiling the minced meat. Once the liquid is evaporated, all the steam comes out, meaning so, you know, you're evaporating. You're creating flavor on the minced meat. Beautiful, minced meat is almost ready. So the second stage of the cooking process, what we are going to do, we are going to add this tomato in. Once you add the tomato in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of the cooking liquid from the pasta. And I wash this bowl. In goes. Beautiful. Mix this through. Once you mix this through, and then we're going to use dry herb. For this, we are going to use dry herb. But obviously, if you like to, you can always use fresh herbs. For the pasta like this, basil, fresh basil is very good, and obviously fresh parsley is also good. It's pretty much ready. So what I'm going to do, I will put this lentil in there. Okay, now final tasting. Tastes very good. Beautiful. So this is ready. So what we are going to do, I'm going to serve it. So it's very easy. If you want to, you can put the pasta into the sauces and mix all together. And then, you know, put in a big bowl and I'll let your guests serve themselves. But if you want to, you can also do the way we are going to do now. You can put the pasta right underneath the bowl. And then what you do, put the sauce on the top. A bit of a fresh herb and a Parmesan cheese. Voila. Bon appetit.
This has been a Cabana production.